What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. So having a look at what Bitcoin is doing right now, well, it doesn't look like it's doing much, but what it is doing is actually coiling up potentially for a massive move. This could actually be the calm before the storm. Now, you have to admit, we've been pretty good at calling these moves, even if some of them were kind of fake outs, right? And actually, what we're doing right now, I'll show you in a few minutes, is that we're putting in basically the exact same pattern we put in before when we had the failed breakout. But could this time be different? Well, having a look at what stocks are doing right now, you can actually see that we are having a bit of a bounce, right? So it could be potentially time for a bear market rally, right? We could be well overdue for one of these sort of corrective moves. Not saying we're going to put in new all-time highs, but maybe the market, since we did have so many down days, need to sort of have that rebound. And Bitcoin may have an even bigger move because, well, Bitcoin tends to move a lot more, right, than the markets do traditionally, right? So we're going to talk about that. I also want to talk about the Credit Suisse potential insolvency, bankruptcy, whatever's going on with them, right? That could be crazy. Some people are saying it's like the Lehman Brothers in 2008. Now, that wouldn't be great immediately, but we will talk about that. I also want to show you that institutions are, in fact, very bullish on crypto, even though you might not think that based on retail sentiment. We're going to go over a few things specifically. And yeah, that's basically it for today's video. And of course, Kim Kardashian, the SEC came after her, but everybody's already heard that news already anyway, right? So we're going to dive in and I'm going to go over some key levels that you guys need to pay attention to. We could be having a very big move for Bitcoin, maybe even by the end of this week, all right? So if that sounds good to you, we're going to dive in and have a look and see what is going on. And before we do, got to give a little bit of a warning, guys. So there is an impersonator over on Discord. I don't use Discord, so if you see me over there, this is not me. Also, I'll never ask you for money. I'll never, I don't reach out to projects for promotions or anything like that. If you need to get a hold of me, all of the official contact information is below, or you can literally go in the official Telegram. I am a moderator. That's the only account I use, okay? So don't believe any scammers here or in the comments. Just have to give that public service announcement. Please be safe out there, guys. So that being said, if you do like this content, actually right now, look what we're doing. This is what I want to talk about right here. So we were basically forming this asymmetrical triangle right here. And of course, we had little fake outs to the upside, fake outs to the downside, right? This is a 4-hour chart, by the way. So don't take every move on this chart too literal. Like you could see right here, we had that crazy wick and just fell right back in. But you could see pretty much what we did right here, right? What did we do? We came up, we retested it, boom. Right? Yeah, we did get rejected. It was a fake out rally, but nevertheless, guys, from that call, from that breakout, we had bottom to top a 7% move, right? So that was a really good move, even if you were using like lower leverage or something like that. Well, look, we're having the exact same thing happen right now. Is this move confirmed? No, it's not. What do we need to do? We need to do the same thing that we did here, and pay attention because this is how you guys are going to know whether or not you should be taking the trade or cutting the trade is pretty much right here. So obviously this was a fake out, right? So we don't count that. Basically, look what happens. We came out here. What did we do on the next candle? We came down, perfectly touched that level. Can you guys see that right there? Perfectly touched that level, started moving back to the upside. That's when you want to put in your trade, right? If you're going to play the breakout. Obviously, playing the lower levels is really the best for the, amount of gains you could get. But if you want to make sure that you're confirming it, what you want is to see this candle. This is on the 4-hour chart. So I'd be looking for the next 4-hour candle to come back down, maybe retest around 19,450 roughly. Just, pay attention to this level. And then, if we do continue, then I think we are going to have a very big move to the upside for actually a few different reasons. So you could see right here, if we have a look at this downward sloping trend, this smaller one, you could see that we could potentially rally up to around that $20,740 level. And if you want to look at something even crazier, so if we take this whole pattern right here, the entire move, right? And we put it all on the daily, look what we're actually doing. We're actually forming an even bigger version of an asymmetrical triangle. So this is crazy. It's like Inception, right? So we have triangles within triangles. And then on the daily, if we come over here, we have this giant triangle forming and we are trying to break out of it right now. Now, not only is this downward sloping resistance important, but also we're going to get back above this red line. And remember, this is where we kept having that bounce, having that bounce, having that bounce, having that. Well, we dipped below it. That was a little fake out. But then right here, what did it do? Resistance, 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 little fake out, resistance. And now we're breaking through, right? So obviously, obviously, if you take the trade on the lower time frame, stick to the lower time frame. If you're trading on the 4 hour, stay on the 4 hour. If you're trading on the daily, then basically what you want to do is see a retest of this downward sloping trend, which we just broke. And I would basically say that that level, it could be around 19,460, but if you're waiting for tomorrow's candle, then it would be actually right around 19,420. So basically, what are we looking for in a nutshell? We're looking to have the breakout, and then over the next day, we're looking for Bitcoin to maybe retest around 19,400. And if we do confirm that with the candle, then yes, I do think we are going to end up having a move to the upside. And if you guys are looking to trade, make sure that you take advantage of the $16,000 plus in bonuses below in the pinned comment and the description of this video. And make sure to check out the tutorial popping up above right now if you guys want to learn how to trade profitably, but of course, most importantly, responsibly. So those are the trades that we could be taking. Obviously, if it breaks to the downside, then you guys know. Well, I guess I could go over the bad, the negative, I guess. You really don't want to fall below around 18,570. You can really see that level. All the wicks right here, this wick right here, and the majority of the bottom of this move right here, right? I guess I could have just drew a line, but basically that's that level. If that gets broken, then yes, we're going to probably retest the lows again around 18,000, maybe down to 17,600. But I'm not trying to be bearish right now because, as I said, having a look at this stock market, I mean, this has been a lot of days down, right? Only one green candle, nothing to get excited over. Some people right here probably thought maybe this was the bottom, right? Nope, we kept going, right? But what I am saying is that if we put this back on the 200 weekly, let me get all these drawings out of here. We were due for a bounce. We were talking about this. It's a very, very critical level for the stock market. And even if we stay in a bear market, prolonged bear market, nevertheless, we could still be due for a short-term rally. And you can take advantage of that. You can trade it. You can, buy and try to time the top and sell it if that's what you want to do, right? But coming over here and having a look at Bitcoin, the thing that we didn't like was the fact that we did close this monthly candle for the first time ever below the previous all-time high, right? But do remember, though, that it's not the most significant level on the monthly. Remember, we said that it would have been nice if we closed it. It sucks that we did something for the first time that's negative, but at the same point, the most important level is actually right here where we had that monthly close, right? So you can see really this is the level. And, I don't want to freak anyone out, but that's down at around $13,800, right? But most likely, if we do have a move to the downside, which I'm not anticipating that, but I don't know, we've had 2 fake outs in just a week, so I'm not going to make any predictions or anything. But if we really switch it to the weekly, that's really the level that you can see we would go down to. And on the weekly, the next level is actually right here at around basically around 16,100. So that's more of the realistic level if we were to fall through here, right? So if we don't end up having this W pattern, which is what I think we are forming right now, which is bullish, we could end up coming up here and retesting this downward sloping trend the same way that I think we could be doing that in stocks. Now, keep in mind, we can go all the way up to even, 28,000 and then get rejected back down, right? Because we are clearly in a downtrend, and the trend is your friend until the end. Whether or not you like the friend is going down, which we don't want that to happen, but that's the trend right now. But the interesting thing I do want to kind of point out is, and we talked about this before, I do believe that the logarithmic chart, this one that we're looking at right here, is the chart that most people are going to look at when you're looking at these long-term moves. Obviously, if you take it out of log, look how this is just a crazy chart. You can really see the difference in price. You can see how bad this has been. But look what we're actually doing. If you actually put it in log, this is telling me that we only have about 1 week left until, we really hit the end of this downward sloping trend right here. And, depending on which exchange you're using, I'm using the BLX, right? Basically that could be... Well, actually, yeah, this is behind. So we're actually already here. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, no, we're actually already here. Yeah. So yeah, this week we could actually have that. We could have that breakout move. So that's what we've been talking about, right? A little bit of a relief rally in the bear market. And the other thing is that you did have this ugly candle on the weekly for the DXY, and also this. So far this week, I mean, it's only literally 1 day in the week, but we are seeing a bit of a red candle for the dollar as well. So that's something to pay attention to. But just remember, guys, even though the dollar is in a bull run, like Lisa Hugh pointed out, if you had bought 1 million, or if you had $1 million USD in your bank since 2015, the purchasing power today in dollars would be only 700,000. You would have lost $300,000 in purchasing power. Turkish lira, you'd have 140. Lebanese lira, 40. Argentine peso 30, and the Venezuelan bolivar, you'd have $2. However, if you had 1 million in Bitcoin, you would have had $61 million. But let's be real, how many people actually bought Bitcoin in 2015? I only know a handful of them, and yeah, congratulations, guys. If you bought Bitcoin in 2015, you're amazing. You're the best person ever, and you should pat yourself on the back. Because I was not paying attention in 2015. I was just doing a lot of other things at the time. So Robert, excuse me. Robert Kiyosaki says, buying opportunity. If the Fed continues raising interest rates, U.S. will get stronger, causing gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices to go lower. Buy more when the Fed pivots and drops interest rates, as England just did. You will smile while others will cry. Take care. And I mean, that's pretty much an oversimplification of what we're in. But I mean, if you want to just explain it like a 5-year-old, right? Now, this is the situation, though. Credit Suisse could be facing a challenging period. We were talking about this on yesterday's video. So they say in an attempt to calm nerves at Credit Suisse, you had the chief executive, Ulrich Körner, sent a memo to the employees last week, but the memo was subsequently leaked to Reuters and backfired spectacularly. In the disaster memo, Körner says this is a critical moment for the whole organization as well as a challenging period, but adds that the bank is being reshaped towards a long-term sustainable future. The problem for Körner and Credit Suisse is that in order to reshape the Swiss bank, the company will require extra investment and fresh capital. And at the moment, the bank doesn't look like that solid of an investment as it once did. And I showed you the chart yesterday. It's literally down 95%. Now, even though the stock price doesn't really technically correlate to them specifically, it is in a roundabout way, kind of giving us a hint as to what could be happening. And, what was his name? Stanley Druckenmiller, right? He came out and said, one of the things that could really spark the crypto renaissance is if people do start losing faith in these types of banks, right? He said central banks specifically. But, this is kind of how it goes because as Spencer Jacob, I pointed out, might have said his name wrong. He says, I trust that you are not confused. This is what the CEO said. I trust that you are not confusing our day-to-day stock price performance with the strong capital base and liquidity position of the bank. Credit Suisse CEO, September 30th, 2020. Our capital position at the moment is strong. Lehman Brothers CFO, September 8th, 2008, right? So, yeah, are we seeing some similarities here? So, Inflation Tracker said Lehman Brothers had 600, just to put this in perspective, Lehman Brothers had 600 million in assets when they collapsed and died. Credit Suisse has 2,800 billion. I don't even know. That's a lot of money. If you thought 2008 was bad, just wait. Global finance markets on the brink of insolvency, credit markets about to get shut down, right? So this wouldn't be good. I'm not saying I'm rooting for this to happen. This would be a black swan event. This would probably cause a massive market sell-off, right? People would freak out if this happened. But what would happen afterwards, like Stanley Druckenmiller said, was this could maybe be, if it did happen, and I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't want it to happen to anyone who's involved in this. But if it did happen, it would be bad short term. But long term, you could see a lot of people start to say, you know what? We're going to start securing our own money. We're going to learn about Bitcoin, right? And people say, oh, that's never going to happen. It literally just happened. It literally just happened over in Europe. When we saw the sterling fall, the exact same week, we saw the highest inflows of Bitcoin purchases in the history ever. So that's just data. The facts are right in front of you. You're seeing that relationship happen. And for people that say, oh, the financial institutions, they're not interested anymore, or just the institutions in general, well, they are. But a lot of people are just looking at what their friends are doing or seeing what retail investors are doing. Retail investors are leaving the space right now. They couldn't be bothered with these prices. They're bored. They're sad. They lost money. Bitcoin is a scam. It's a Ponzi, right? How many times have we heard this? Literally been listening to this crap for 6 years, right? Of course, when it goes up, everybody's happy. It's the future. But whenever it's down 70, 80%, suddenly it's a scam and it's going to zero. I think you guys know how this always ends up playing out. Sure, maybe this time is different. Maybe we go lower than usual. Maybe, right? But long term, you know what's going on with these guys. You know they cannot keep raising rates indefinitely. You know if something ends up happening and they do end up having to bail these guys out, well, how do you bail them out? You print money, right? That is their tool. They don't have a lot of tools in their toolbox, right? They can do QT or they can do QE, right? For the most part, right? For the most part, that's basically all they can do. So over here, you could see that NYDIG, they said a Bitcoin fund that was launched by them has now raised up to almost 720 million. NYDIG Institutional Bitcoin Fund LP has raised the funds from a total of 59 investors, according to a filing with the SEC. And, just to kind of remind everyone that, I know we're all in this bearish moment right now, but just listen to this paragraph from just over on Forecast News. Institutional investors have taken note of crypto's potential and they want more, with big names like BlackRock and Coinbase partnering to broaden access to crypto assets for their institutional investors. It's clear that this asset class has real influence and staying power. Global macro hedge fund firm Brevin Howard has raised over $1 billion for its flagship crypto vehicle. Even JP Morgan has given its wealth management clients access to 6 crypto funds. And remember, he called Bitcoin a fraud and said he wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. And now they're offering this to their clients. Also, you had Charles Schwab, Citadel Securities, and Fidelity Digital Assets announcing the launch of a crypto exchange, EDX Markets, which is the latest indication of traditional financial giants marking their presence in the world of digital assets. And furthermore, rumors are circulating that Fidelity may soon allow its 34 million retail investors to buy Bitcoin through its brokerage. But it's probably just a passing fad, right? Bitcoin's definitely going to zero, and there's no way that it'll ever actually truly become any type of, inflation hedge or store of value, right? Probably not going to happen, even though Bitcoin just tends to crash 85 to 95%, only to then pump 20x, but probably just a fad, right? Probably just a fad. So let's talk about some news, and then let's get on out of here. So Celsius founder Alex Mashinsky apparently withdrew $10 million weeks before they went bankruptcy. Now, a spokesperson is saying that these were made to offset state and federal taxes, and he revealed that he did this frequently and that he still has $44 million frozen on the platform. I don't know. Could be suspicious, could just be coincidence. You guys let me know what you think about that headline. We also have Kim Kardashian being fined $1.3 million for an illegal promotion of Ethereum Max. Wow, that sounds awesome. So there you go, guys. Be careful of buying these tokens that, are definitely undisclosed that people are talking about, especially Ethereum Max. And also just wanted to end on some good news. So we have Sega, one of the largest Japanese gaming companies, has announced that it will launch its first blockchain game in collaboration with Double Jump Tokyo, another Japanese development company. So pretty cool, guys. You're definitely seeing blockchain is here to stay. NFTs, most likely here to stay. Bitcoin, certainly here to stay. Ethereum, possibly, most likely here to stay. And I hope you're here to stay as well, because it's been a pleasure doing this quick update with you. Sorry it came out a little bit later, guys. I had a crazy morning. Every time I sat down to make a video, something else came up. But nevertheless, guys, I do think, like I said, this could be that calm before the storm. Do understand, though, that we have had a lot of fake outs. I mean, look at these fake outs that we've had. Crazy fake outs, right? Look at that fake out. Look at that fake out. Look at that fake out. So, could we come up here, have a fake out? It's possible. That's why I said, just see what the chart does. Make sure you get that confirmation. If you do want to take the trade, make sure that you guys definitely 1,000%. A lot of people watch this video. Just watch this video popping up right here, right now. I'm telling you guys, it is the best video on the internet if you guys want to learn how to trade and take advantage of those bonuses below. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you for coming back. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.